Well, just a few days ago, I made a prediction about which cruise lines would require a vaccine and which cruise lines would not. And two of the four that we talked about, well, there's been information put out since that video, and it's a little shocking. It's a little shocking. Plus, I got my health protocols for my cruise in 7 days. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Lido Loca. I'm your host Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. Well, I'm here at the Country Inn and Suites. You may have seen the live stream yesterday welcoming the Mardi Gras home. And then the Royal Caribbean, they sent their Odyssey ship in also. I'm working on some more footage of both of those. Hope to have a vlog out for you guys soon. But so much breaking cruise news popping off, I wanted to talk to you about it. We know now what the initial strategy is for Royal Caribbean and for Carnival when it comes to vaccine. Also, yesterday was a big cancellation day for Royal Caribbean. Part of a reset, and then I got my protocols for Adventure of the Seas. I'll save that till the end and tell you how good or bad they are. So before we jump into the news, let me quickly invite you to subscribe if you like to stay up to date with everything that's going on in cruising. If you like to see new cruise ships popping up on the scene, I'm going to be there for you. Please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of the episodes. It doesn't cost anything. About 55% of the folks are subscribed, so we got a lot of you guys out there watching the videos that we don't have a commitment yet. Don't be afraid of the commitment. Please consider subscribing, notification bell, and yeah. Thank you in advance. So let's kick it off with Royal Caribbean. Yesterday they made a big cancellation announcement, canceling many of the cruises in July into August. Really, we've talked about this before, that to get back to where we need to go, there's going to be a lot of existing cruises that are canceled so that they can kind of redo the way that cruising is going to be, and that's exactly what's happened. Royal releasing a press release yesterday calling all vacationers back for summer. So they've created a summer schedule. I'll leave a link to that so that you can go read all these specifically, but they have a summer lineup. Freedom of the Seas will be sailing from Miami. Odyssey of the Seas, that just came in here to Port Canaveral yesterday, will be sailing from Fort Lauderdale. Serenade of the Seas will be doing Alaska sailings in Seattle. Allure of the Seas will be in the Western Caribbean from Port Canaveral. Ovation of the Seas, Alaska. Symphony of the Seas, Eastern and Western Caribbean from Miami. Independence of the Seas will be in Galveston. And then the Mariner of the Seas will be out of Port Canaveral. So they've got, make sure you check out this press release. There's a lot of information in there, and it tells you when they're going to start. But most of these start dates, Freedom is in July, Odyssey is in July, Serenade is in July, Allure is in August, Ovation is in August, Symphony is in August, Independence is in August, and Mariner is in August. And then the big news here is they released their health protocols, their vaccine requirements. And the theme, I guess, for today's show is guest experience. And Royal Caribbean is not requiring a vaccine. So this meets one of the predictions I made last week. Royal Caribbean would like everybody to be vaccinated, but they know that that is not possible. And so they're going to have different protocols for vaccinated and unvaccinated people. So folks that are able to volunteer their proof of vaccination, they don't have to get tested on the cruise ship, and they will have different protocols than people who are unvaccinated. They did not specify which protocols those were. I would think that they're going to be like masking and distancing protocols. And it's interesting the way it's worded. Let me read it. Guests are strongly recommended to set sail fully vaccinated if they are eligible. Those who are unvaccinated or are unable to verify vaccination will be required to undergo testing and follow other protocols, which will be announced at a later date. And so that's a big deal right there, that, you know, it's following the other protocols. And so as I mentioned in that prediction show, it's really going to move toward a protocol conversation. The cruise lines, they don't really have a choice on this. The guidance out there that allows them to cruise has protocols for vaccinated and unvaccinated people. And so they're going to have to align to those protocols if they want to do business. It's really going to make for an interesting scenario on these cruises because, you know, the protocols like masking it's drastically different, and so it will be interesting to see if you have a cruise where some people can go anywhere without a mask, where other people are required to wear a mask. That's interesting there. Not shocking though. I predicted that Royal Caribbean would have both vaccinated and unvaccinated options, but the big shocker is Carnival. So while I was checking out the Mardi Gras coming in, President Christine Duffy was on Good Morning America giving an interview in front of the lovely Mardi Gras, and she was asked very directly about vaccines. And it was a little different signal, a little different message than we'd heard in the past. I'm probably spoiling it for you, but let me just play the clip of Christine Duffy talking about vaccine.
Walk us through your COVID policy, how all of this is going to work. Are passengers, adults, and kids going to need to be vaccinated in order to get on board? Well, you know, we've continued to work with CDC and other federal agencies on exactly what requirements we have to be able to restart cruising. And while there is a path for unvaccinated, we really don't think that the protocols will work to allow us to deliver the guest experience that we want to be able to do. So I think right now it does look like people will have to be vaccinated. But again, the great news is 50% of the country, adults, have been vaccinated. We've seen such progress made in short order, so we're still hopeful that we'll be able to further evolve and see these guidelines that will allow, especially families sailing with children under 12 who are not eligible to get a vaccine. So walk us through what happens with those families with kids under 12 right now. Will those kids who aren't vaccinated allowed to be on board? Well, we're still working through that with CDC. And again, while we don't have any definitive answers today that we can share, we are optimistic that we'll eventually be able to welcome, of course, all of our families with kids on board. And how will passengers prove that they've been vaccinated? Well, we're working with some technology that may allow passengers to upload their vaccine information ahead of the cruise. But there's always the old-fashioned way where people will arrive at the terminal and have to show their proof of vaccination.
There you go. So in complete opposition to every signal that we've heard up until this point, it does seem like Carnival, at least for the short term, will be requiring a vaccine, which was a shocker to me because I really felt like that Carnival would be one of the cruise lines that did not require a vaccine at all. And you heard it, and we've talked about it before. It's just coming down to guest experience. It's coming down to how people want to cruise, and I don't think people want to cruise all masked up. I really think that that's the underlying message that nobody's saying out loud. But I think if you think about most people out there, the big question that everybody has is mask or no mask. And I can see Carnival saying, look, we don't want our ships filled with people that are unhappy because of the health protocols. And so for right now, to give the cruise experience that's available based on the guidance, you got to be vaccinated. I really didn't think that Carnival would be requiring a vaccine, to the point where I made a wager with a guy over a t-shirt. And so, look, she said the protocols were not official yet, but if this becomes the official rule of Carnival, it could change. If this becomes the official rule of Carnival, you know who you are. You're getting a t-shirt. I saved your message, so we'll correspond. But let's wait till it's completely official. But good call, sir. Now, finally, the big reveal. What are the protocols on my cruise in 7 days? 7 days. Well, they're going with you're vaccinated, and so you're going to have a very not super restrictive cruise. No mask, and we can explore the port. So we're already thinking maybe we go to Mr. Sancho's in Cozumel. That's how real it's becoming. That I envision that cruising is going to be very similar to what it was before the shutdown. There'll obviously be some minor differences. I'll make sure that I capture and show all those to you, but one of the differences is I'm not going to have to wear a mask. No mask required on board. No mask required at Coco Cay. The only time you might have to wear a mask is if it is required at the local places that we go. Like in the Bahamas, you have to wear a mask when you're in public. I don't think Mexico has that same restriction, so yeah, it's going to be, well, I'll show it to you. It's going to be pretty wide open, but excited this morning to see that Royal Caribbean says no mask while you're on board the cruise ship. So that's going to be pretty cool. Let me kick it over to you. Any of these approaches that we've talked about today from Royal or Carnival, do you find it shocking? It's going to be an interesting time in cruising. Christine Duffy said she doesn't think it's going to be forever. Most of us don't think it's going to be forever. So if it's something that bums you out, don't be too bummed out. I don't think it's going to be forever, but that's interesting. Thanks so much for watching the show. Please hit the like button, or I'm going to hide your cell phone charger. Then you won't be able to watch the show. That's not a great threat. Tony for Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.